Good morning, everyone. Mikey left me some coffee, so I'm good to go. And I want to thank Petra very much appreciated. We have an elder's letter. April 21st, 2025. Announcement for congregations. Viewing the regional convention, we eagerly anticipate the 2025 to 2026 Pure Worship conventions and hope millions will benefit to the full from the spiritual provision from Jehovah. It is encouraging to see many families and individuals make arrangements to attend the convention in person and praise Jehovah in the midst of the congregation. Wait for it. The governing body is making a special provision for those who are infirm, advanced in age, or have other circumstances that limit their ability to attend a convention in person. If the internet is widely available in the region, these dear brothers and sisters may view a live video stream of the same program that the rest of the congregation will attend in person. Approximately 1 month before the convention, your congregation will be informed whether this provision will be available to you. Discuss the matter with one of the elders if you feel that you need this provision. Please note that the usual arrangement to provide a recorded regional convention on JW Stream will still be available for those who do not have the circumstances to attend in person. We are confident that those with more favorable circumstances will see the benefits from joyfully attending the convention in person. Some of our fondest memories come from strengthening our faith at our annual conventions. We warmly commend you, dear brothers and sisters, for your faithfulness, love, and desire to give Jehovah the glory due his name. Now, the letter they tell the elders. Live broadcasts of regional conventions. Regional conventions will now be broadcast live via JW Stream if the internet is widely available in your region. This new provision is for those who are infirm, advanced in age, or have other circumstances that limit their ability to attend a convention in person. Recordings of a regional convention will continue to be available on JW Stream. Publishers should be encouraged to attend the convention in person as an expression of their faith. Elders and ministerial servants and their families should set an example in this area. Please do not impose arbitrary rules on those who may access the live program, nor provide access to the live program indiscriminately. So if you suspect someone's a PMO, guess what? They're probably not going to get invited. Consult with other elders in the body if you have concerns. Reason on Bible principles when discussing the matter with individuals. They don't tell the congregation all this. 1 month before the convention, elders and ministerial servants logging into JW Stream will see a link to view their assigned convention program if the program will be live streamed. Use the share video button to generate a link for those approved to view the program. You have to be approved. Only an elder may approve access to the program. Inform those who are provided with the link that they should not share the link with others. You know why? Because the PMOs are sharing it with all of us. For the coordinators of the body of elders, live broadcasts of regional conventions, please ensure that the announcement for congregations is read at the next midweek meeting and thereafter posted on the information board. 1 month before your assigned convention, check JW Stream to see whether the program will be available for live streaming. If it will be available, review the above announcement for elders and ministerial servants. Arrange for the announcement for congregations to be read again the week before your assigned convention and inform the congregation that live streaming will be available. If your convention program will not be available for live streaming, arrange for this to be announced to the congregation. The announcement should indicate that the usual arrangement to provide a recorded regional convention on JW Stream is still available for those who do not have the circumstances to attend in person. Well, I'm sure a lot, especially like our moms, won't be able to afford to go to conventions. You know, when you're on a fixed low income, you can't afford hotels anymore and traveling. It's just gotten too ridiculous. Oy vey. Now I've got some other news too. I want to thank the investigation team very much. The World Organization Welfare.org website, and I'm going to put the link down below, because they've been working hard to get the form, the redress questionnaire form updated and the lawyer intake form updated. And so we really appreciate them getting in and getting this done. Because many thought that it was just for the United States and just for CSA, and it's not. I'll just read the top of this form, and what you do is you download the form, fill it out, and then send it to the address at the bottom, and this will get to the investigators. And I want to thank all of you who have been sending me your stories in an email. Those that gave me permission, I did forward those to the investigators, so we all appreciate it very much. Watchtower petition for redress questionnaire, changing culture with one story of all of us. Currently, there is a team of private investigators as well as detectives and prosecutors assembling a clear case of how crimes committed against a person are systematically hidden by religious organizations. A list of crimes may include, but not limited to, the following. And this is important because the investigators are wanting to hear all of this. I know many of you have told me about elders stalking you and breaking into your homes and following you and spying on you. And this is the type of thing they want to hear also. You know, this isn't just about child abuse. This is also, well, I'll just read what, the following. Trafficking, CSA, SRA, I'm not sure what SRA means, but human rights violations. See, and all of us have had our human rights violated. Rape of a child or adult, forced labor, or other crimes involving bodily harm or the threat thereof, including battery, assault, and domestic violence. Additionally, offenses such as harassment, stalking, and kidnapping are also considered crimes against the person. And so, like I said, this isn't limited to CSA. They've redone these forms and stuff, because many who had just physical abuse was, contacting me and saying, hey, I was never abused as a child, sexually, but I was physically abused, like myself, beaten. And when I get a chance, I'm going to, fill out a questionnaire also about my physical abuse, beaten, because that is physical abuse. So anyway, thank you. Appreciate that. Now, this was an interesting thing. My inbox started blowing up this morning. The LCR Digital, I believe this is Spain, and you'll have to use Google Translate. I'll put the link down below. I've also, if for some reason you can't translate it, I've also translated it into English. And yes, it was already sent to the investigators, because this is exactly the kind of thing they're wanting to hear. And Watchtower keeps trying to send their lawyers after all of these people. Yeah. Now, I want to apologize to Juan, because I can't pronounce your last name. But there are 4 people who are working on Operation Spotlight and have been for quite a while. Jimmy Bell, Juan Antonio Penicky? Sorry about that, Juan. Shelley Breu, and Monica Kincaid, and it's called Operation Spotlight. And I know Jimmy and Shelley, they've all been working hard and getting the spotlight on Watchtower and their abusive practices. Well, apparently Watchtower has decided to go after them, and Operation Spotlight did a statement on Facebook this morning. Operation Spotlight reaffirms its commitment to advocating for the rights and voices of Watchtower's victims. This month, the newspaper LCR Digital, featuring an interview with Juan Antonio Our Operation Spotlight ambassador has been sued by Watchtower's lawyers. Apparently, they believe this action will deter our efforts. However, we remain undeterred and will continue to utilize the legal systems in the United States and Europe to challenge this opposition. Below is a translation of the newspaper statement regarding these threats. Evidently, the organization's legal recourse underscores the limitations of their position, as they require lawyers to address allegations of abuse and criminal activity. Jehovah's Witnesses have turned to El Sierra Digital after the publication of the news Operation Spotlight. This is how ex-adepts are mobilized against Jehovah's Witnesses on April 6. From our newspaper, we exercise the right of rectification that is provided for in Organic Law 1984 of March 26. And in this way, we publish the request of the lawyer David Baidez CQ, legal representative of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, now I have the article pulled up here. Like I said, I translated it to English. Jehovah's Witnesses clarification on Operation Spotlight. We reproduce the message sent by Jehovah's Witnesses through their lawyer. Jehovah's Witnesses have contacted lsierradigital.com following the publication of the news item Operation Spotlight. This is how former members are mobilizing against Jehovah's Witnesses. On April 6th, we at our newspaper are exercising the right to rectification provided for by Organic Law. And I read that. Okay, the legal representative, Jehovah's Witnesses, can't pronounce his name either. The article states that calling Jehovah's Witnesses a sect does not violate the right to honor. However, contrary to this assertion, the Provincial Court of Madrid, section number 18, in its ruling 126/2025 of March 20, 2025, expressly declared that calling Jehovah's Witnesses a destructive, extremist, or dangerous sect constitutes an illegitimate interference with the right to honor of said religious denominations. See, they don't care about the abuse they've heaped on all of us. They they call us destructive and extremists. Well, remember, Russia banned them for this very thing. In the words of the court, the expressions that refer to the plaintiff as a dangerous, extremist, and destructive sect are excessive and objectively insulting and vexatious, and therefore constitute an illegitimate interference with the plaintiff's right to honor. They don't deserve respect or honor, in my humble opinion. After what they've done and destroyed our families, they don't deserve any respect. Furthermore, Jehovah's Witnesses are a worldwide Christian religion active in Spain for over 100 years, officially recognized by the Ministry of the Presidency and with the legal status of well-established religious affiliation. Oh yeah, and they're in with all the governments too. The child protection policy followed by Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide is available to the public on their website at www.jw.org. Jehovah's Witnesses do not protect anyone found guilty of child abuse from legal action. Okay, now I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to read it again. Listen carefully how this is worded, because it's all in the wording of how they get away with this. Jehovah's Witnesses do not protect anyone found guilty of child abuse from legal action. See how it's carefully worded? The average person will just read through this and, oh, yeah, see, they don't protect pedophiles. But the way it's carefully worded, do not protect anyone found guilty of child abuse. This means that the world's courts, Satan's system, according to them, the authorities, investigators and everybody, they do their job and convict a Jehovah's Witness of CSA. Well, then Watchtower says they won't protect anyone who's been found guilty of that. But see, right up until that guilty verdict, they will protect them. Even in court, we have heard over and over and over again, the congregation will sit on the accused side of the court, and the poor victim has to sit there alone, maybe with a few family members. But even their family members will be over with the JW pedophile. We've heard that over and over again. That case in Oklahoma. I forget her name, but, congregation, family, everybody was siding, But see how it's carefully worded. See, once Satan's world convicts them of being guilty of CSA, Watchtower won't protect them. But they don't mention, we don't ever protect. See the difference? Oh, we don't ever protect pedophiles. There's another sentence here right after that one that is carefully worded. Okay? Jehovah's Witnesses do not protect anyone found guilty of child abuse from legal action and promptly report allegations of child abuse to the police, respecting the laws applicable in each country. Now that may sound great, and the Jehovah's Witnesses will say, the elders report all allegations of child abuse to the police. No, they don't. It's carefully worded. See, respecting the laws applicable in each country. What that means is if the country, or like here in the United States, every state has their own rule. If that country doesn't make the Jehovah's Witnesses mandatory reporters, like for instance, here in New Mexico, everyone, even just the average citizen, is a required mandatory reporter of CSA. So any allegations of child abuse or any evidence of child abuse, we're all required to contact the authorities. But every state is different. Respecting the laws applicable in each country. During the Australian Royal Commission, they asked Jehovah's Witnesses, why didn't you report any of, over, 1,000 cases of CSA? And they said, well, if you made it a law, we would. See, they throw it back on the authorities. And that's what this means. Respecting the laws, which means if they are not mandatory reporters, they're not going to report it. And we have evidence that even when they are required to report it, look at the case in Crystal Lake, Illinois, here in this country. Pinkava and Scott, those elders were convicted guilty of hiding it for 8 years? That poor girl suffered for 8 years and they didn't report it. And what is even more disturbing is, I believe his name was Michael Pinkava, was a teacher. He was required to report any evidence or allegations of CSA, and he did nothing. So you can see why, that case sets a precedence, because they didn't report it, and that was proof. And this is what we all use as proof, that they do not report it. Elders do what the legal department tells them. So, Watchtower, all this is to cover their asses. Goes on, which is infuriating. It is simply untrue that Jehovah's Witnesses have taken no steps to ensure that any allegations of child abuse are reported to the appropriate authorities. For decades, Jehovah's Witnesses have taken steps to ensure that congregants do not refrain from reporting an allegation of child abuse to legal authorities out of misguided loyalty to the accused or fear of damaging the congregation's reputation. We know that is an outright lie. My daughter had friends back in Cottonwood, Arizona. Their stepfather was abusing them, and the mom and 2 girls were threatened by the elders. If they didn't keep quiet, they were going to be disfellowshipped. And of course, they went ahead and the cops found out, but it took a while. And then what did the elders do? We know for a fact because it was in the local newspaper. They went down and got the pervo, the stepdad, out of jail on his own recognizance. The elders spoke for him and got him off. And then by then, the mom and the daughters had left. You know, they had to flee the town. Outright lies. Who tells lies and half-truths? Watchtower does. This is the Public Information Department. They're a bunch of liars. Going on. Finally, we also wish to correct the misconceptions about our beliefs regarding blood transfusions. Now wait for this one. It's going to trigger all of you. The 17 judges of the Grand Chamber of the European Court of Human Rights unanimously concluded in the case of Pindo Mula versus Spain, dated September 17, 2024, that the applicant, a Jehovah's Witness, wishes to be cured of her illness and is willing to accept all appropriate treatments provided that she refuses blood transfusions. Therefore, this case must be distinguished from those involving a person's wish to end his or her life, and that it is a cardinal principle in the field of healthcare that the patient's right to give or withhold consent to treatment must be respected. See, there again, carefully worded pretzel twisting. Oh, well, it's up to the individual Jehovah's Witness. Oh, they are such liars. So anyway, that's what's going on this morning, and enough to get a person riled and their blood pressure going sky high. Now, any of you that are on Facebook, I will put the link here to the Operation Spotlight group, so that if you want to go read this entire statement yourself. And I want to thank not only their team, but our team who are working with the investigators. You know, we appreciate everybody, and especially you viewers. I appreciate all of you very much, because you send me these links, you know, call us, email, and all of that, and very much appreciated. And I appreciate all of you helping me out, because I need an assistant. I need my own team just to help me with all of this, because there has just been so much. Someone sent me a partial list of a pervo list of those that had been arrested or convicted JWs, mostly elders and ministerial servants. And so I appreciate when you do stuff like that, because it helps me, because all I have to do then is take that file and give it to the investigators, because that helps a lot. And right now I'm working on a second pervo list to send the investigators. And you guys are going to be shocked about this. 179 names. And that's just the ones we know about. And that's just recent. So if any of you know of any pervo, you know, JW that was arrested or, you know, convicted or charged or anything like that, please let me know, and I will pass it on to the investigators. Now, I also know that I've heard there was a JW arrested in Holton, Maine, or at least with the Sheriff's Department in Holton, Maine. And we're trying to find out the name of that pervo. So if anybody knows about that, it's been within the past year. So if anybody has heard about that, please let me know, because we're trying to find out what the JW pervo's name was. And I also want to thank Jan, sorry if I mispronounced that, on Twitter. Thank you very much. I'm going to put a link down below to his Twitter post, because this is great. I wish I could help the state. But remember, Jehovah's Witnesses appealed in Norway on the deregistration, and, you know, they won that. Well, guess what? I'll put the link down below to this. You'll have to translate it to English. The state has decided to appeal the Jehovah's Witnesses' verdict. Jehovah's Witnesses, it was recently announced that Jehovah's Witnesses won the appeal against the state. The state has now decided whether to appeal the verdict to the Supreme Court. And it looks like you have to subscribe to get the full article, or that may just be a blurb that they've done. State Advocate Liv Inger Gabrielson at the Government Advocate has represented the state at the Ministry of Children and Family Affairs in Oslo District Court last year and in Bogarting Court of Appeal this year. So it would be nice if the state won, if Norway won against Jehovah's Witnesses, because they can cry persecution all they want. But how many other churches not only excommunicate disfellowship members, but then to actually, slander and be libelous against ex-members who are speaking out and whistleblowing and, and then, like I mentioned before, just outright lie about their policies and what they do. We all know they're lying. Oh, it's just unbelievable. Anyway, so thank you so much for everything, and we appreciate all of you so much, and thank you for liking and watching and subscribing, because when you do that, it helps support this channel, and we appreciate it, because this is a labor of love for us. It really is. It's not about any money or anything like that. It's just a labor of love. And so we appreciate it. So you all have a wonderful week. Bye.